Hello everybody, this is 1488 here again with another video on the Schroeder Show, episode 8. Well, last time I mentioned at the very end of the video that I'd be talking about Penn State, my alma mater, and what the effects of the Louis Freeh Report, and I was going to do that a couple weeks, about 2 weeks ago, but I decided not to and wait it out until what has happened recently and what I like to say now. Well, I like to say it, what my reaction is to the Freeh Report and to the NCAA sanctions against Penn State. So, according to the report, there was 430 people interviewed. There was 200 and I think the number is 267 pages full of information done by this former head of the FBI and former federal judge, Louis Freeh, in which Penn State paid him to do, to investigate this long investigation by the current board of trustees and the current president of the university. That led to uproars. I was mad. I thought I would do the perfect video and perfect rant for this, but I decided, for the sake of all things, not to. Yes, I am shocked that Joe Paterno had a big mental lapse of judgment, and that states that he did cover up for Sandusky along with Grahmn, Spanier, Tim Curley, and Gary Schultz. And once the NCAA got that information, and they say, well, we don't need an investigation of our own. We have the question, we got the answers from Penn State. They cooperated with us, and we, alongside with the Louis Freeh Report, have made our decision, and we're going to make sure that Penn State will get punished for it in the correct and decisive way. And because of that, the Paterno statue was finally torn down on Sunday. Yesterday they torn up the base of the statue, the whole stone complex where his plaques and everything were behind the statue. And it really hurt. I mean, it really hurts. And to be honest with you, the guy I admired my whole entire life, the reason I loved Penn State football was Joe Paterno. And he was a humanitarian. And he was a good guy. And he was a very educated person. But a lot of people will agree now that this Louis Freeh Report has come out, and since his firing and since his passing, that people will take him down to the grave, take him to his grave and send him to hell for what has happened. Just because he had a huge mental lapse of judgment does not mean he's going to hell. Be honest with you, people. He's done a lot for this university. He has put, him and his wife has put out millions of dollars to the university, and just because of the way things were ran at Penn State with Spanier and Curley and Schultz and Paterno, the power of football was more overwhelming than the power of the university. And when this came to Jerry Sandusky, and I'm glad for one, this fuck is going to prison for the rest of his life. And that he will be burning in hell for all eternity for fucking boys in the ass. That's just wrong that's just wrong. Okay? And people were scared for years. For 14 years they hide this information. Why couldn't you have done that 14 years ago when the first incident happened? And that's a huge cover-up cover this thing up for a decade and a half is just plain wrong. It's just fucking wrong, and I'd be ashamed of going to a university. I didn't go to University Park at all, but I was pretty damn ashamed that I went to a university that covered up a whole scandal because of their football program. They were worried about their football program going to hell. They were worried about their football program going to shreds. Guess what? You just caused the university a lot of damage. You know that. So, according to, and the NCAA sanctions were given out by President Mark Emmert of the NCAA, which I will say now, and I have my opinion on the NCAA and the president of Mark Emmert. He is now considered to be the Roger Goodell of the NCAA. If something serious happens to any university, they will come down with an iron fist at you. And what President Grahmn Spanier told ESPN. He told ESPN, he was interviewed by ESPN, by a reporter, and they said, well, he said that President Emmert gave him an option. He would give the following options. 1, take the sanctions that we're going to give you right now, or face the death penalty for 4 years. And what I mean by the death penalty, people don't know about the death penalty. Some of you young people who don't even know about college football, the history of college football. The death penalty was given once before by SMU, Southern Methodist University, back in the late 80s. The late 80s. They were shut down for 2 years. 1986 and 1987, I believe, or 87 or 88. I don't know. But it was in the late 80s. The program couldn't practice. They couldn't condition for 2 years. The football program was then, it took them years to recover and get back to a bowl game in this case. Well, President Spanier said that they were going to give the death penalty to Penn State for 4 years. 4 years of no football is going to hurt Penn State. It's going to hurt Penn State as an entire whole. And that's going to, and believe me, when we're dealing with, in the state of Pennsylvania, especially nowadays with with our governor, Tom Corbett, just cutting on education, it's ridiculous. If you get rid of football, that's a big ouch. So, President Emmert, sorry, is it President Erickson? I'm sorry if I said President Spanier. I'm sorry. President Emmert, Rodney Erick, accepted the fine. The Board of Trustees accepted the fines and the punishments. And here is a summary of the punishments handed down by the NCAA. Over the next 5 years, Penn State is going to pay $60 million in fines to the NCAA, and that money will go to a charitable organization to prevent child abuse all over the country. So that means $12 million for the next every year for the next 5 years. A 4-year postseason ban from Big Ten championships and any bowl games, including national championships and soon-to-be playoffs in college football, will be take place this year. There will be an also reduction of scholarships from 85 to 65 starting in 2014. And along with the tearing down of Joe Paterno's statue, Joe Paterno's from 1998 till his firing and passing, all wiped out. So that means he is not the winningest coach in college football history. That guy from Grahmn is the winningest coach in college football. Bobby Bowden is the winningest coach now in Division 1A or FBS football. And they said those dates because of when the start of the whole Jerry Sandusky thing and all the way up to his firing. So yeah, Eddie Robinson's the guy I'm thinking of from Division 1, who was the Division 1 all-time Division 1 championship winner of wins at 408. Yeah. So we knew this was coming. We knew that this punishment would be coming, and the NCAA ruled with an iron fist. I say, you know, that's better than the death penalty in my case. But $60 million is a big ouch. That's 1 year. That's a whole entire year's income Penn State football makes. So let me be serious with you. At first, I was going to say, if I ever go back to Penn State, I would never go back to Penn State ever again. I said at first, I will never go back to Penn State. I will never go to a Penn State football game, whether it's a blue-white game or any big football game over the next period of time. Because there was no national championship, there's no BCS bowl, there's no, you know, any kind of bowl game or any chance of going to the Big Ten championship. That's all gone for 4 years. So, and Bill O'Brien's got a lot of work to do. This morning, the Penn State players formed that they will go for the long haul and they will compete. Some of them will transfer out of Penn State. And that's another thing of this NCAA sanction, that any Penn State player who wants to transfer out of Penn State can do so between now and the beginning of the 2013 season without penalty of serving out 1 year. So that means, as of right now, they're saying Silas Redd, the star running back from Penn State, USC is offering him a position at running back, and Silas Redd seems to be like their go-to guy, but I don't know if Silas Redd has accepted to go to the USC or not. But Penn State is a well-organized and very highly educated university. I, for one, am not that bright, but I do want a degree from Penn State. I don't care what it takes, or some other university. If I want to get a degree from another university, that's fine. But I would like to finish with my Penn State degree in engineering or somewhere, and that's what I want. And that's after I get done paying off these student loans and shit. And that's one thing that needs to be done. So, if I were to give any advice to any of these guys who are diehard Penn State fans or who want to become Penn State fans and just saw all this stuff going on, we need these guys out here for the next 4 or 5 years. It's going to be a battle to get back on top. When we get back on top in the Big Ten, we are forever Penn State. We are Penn State. We are Penn State. We are and will be forever Penn State. Penn State football will no longer be the same, but we will write our own legacy. Let me tell you that. And I want everybody to know we will prevail. We will prevail from these punishments and these sanctions and a new era of Penn State football. So, until then, I'll see you there for episode 9. This is Michael Schroeder, also known as 1488, signing out. Of course, like, subscribe, comment at youtube.com/xiv88. Peace out.